Hello everybody, my name is Christian Domres. I'm a product manager at Peak Solution. Today I'm happy to talk about the topic why successful test data management should always consider the overall testing process. Let's have a look at this bold statement. Measured data is worthless without metadata which describes the testing context. Why is that? To answer that, let's have a look for what we need metadata after the testing. First, we need to find the data in a later stage. After the test, we will need metadata, in example, project numbers, car models, customer information, but also test types to find test data. In example, because we want to learn from previous testing or because we might have a legal duty to provide. Secondly, we need the testing context to understand the measured data or recorded video. We need information about the used software, calibration, or just environment parameters to understand why the data has been recorded the way it is. Without those information, measured graphs are just meaningless numbers and pictures. Third, we need a testing context to compare different tests and derive meaningful insights out of the comparison. Did the test use the same ECU software version? Have the same components been used? Did the test run on the same test benches? Did tests happen at the same weather conditions? To answer those questions, we need to have the related metadata available. Finally, we also need metadata to create a permission model which makes sense to the user. Permissions to test data might be given based on testing projects, testing location, based on product models, or based on testing resources and others. To create those permission models, the information into which permission pool a test belongs to needs to be extracted from metadata first. We see there is a lot of good reason to take well care of our metadata when storing our test results. So, where is all that related metadata created? It is created all over the testing process from the initial test request to the final test execution. Let's have a look at information collected in the testing process, starting with the raise of a test request. We see information about if the test is part of a validation project and other information like internal or external customer information. We see information about a timeline. At least there will be a deadline, maybe already the exact start date is even specified. We will find information about why do we want to test? What's the purpose of our test? An example, is it to check if we are in accordance with environment regulations? Is it to test durability? Eventually, we also already will have more information about the test specification available, like what test cycles are to be used. During the planning of the test request, step by step, more information is added. In example, more information about testing parameters might be added, like acceleration levels, maximum speeds, temperatures for environment chambers, and many others. Or the software version of our ECUs or calibration files for the testing will be specified. In the further process, decisions will be made, like which test bench is to be used, which dummy will sit in the car at which place, which additional equipment is used. Those components come mostly with specific attributes which will be relevant later when interpreting test data after the test. Finally, the real start and end time of the test will be fixed. In the stage of test preparation, information might be collected regarding the condition of the used test equipment, final information about installed software in the car, or checklists will be filled. Example, when mounting a sample on a fixture in a test bench, or if you build in sensors in a car or dummy, or any other related activities which we need to do before a test can start. Finally, in the test execution, we will collect information like the reader-driven test parameters, in example, acceleration, speed curves, test cycles, other values. As the reader-driven test parameters might be different from those we originally ordered, they need to be documented as well. We will find out about environment conditions when we are on the road, in example. And of course, finally, we will record our measured data. So therefore, I need a software environment which seamlessly integrates metadata from the testing process into test data management. So yeah, fortunately, for this we have exactly the right tools for you. The Peak Test Management Suite helps you with organizing the testing process from project planning to test request and specification. It helps you with the scheduling of resources for the test, and it supports in the phase of test preparation until finally the test is executed. In all those steps, test engineers, planners and technicians add relevant metadata to the overall test description. The Peak Test Data Manager is our state-of-the-art tool for standardized test data measurement based on the widespread ASAM ODS standard. It enables you to combine metadata and measured data to guarantee an efficient search for test data, meaningful comparison of test results, and is your data hub to start test data analysis. By the way, you don't know ASAM ODS yet? Then I recommend you to watch the regarding video on our homepage, which will give you a proper introduction into this topic. Both systems, Peak Test Management Suite and Peak Test Data Manager, work integrated together for you. Let's have a look at what information can be transferred from test planning into our test data management with our tools. Those are information like project information, timeline information, test purpose, test specification, testing parameters, software versions, equipment description, calibration information, responsibility information, mobile environment condition, checklist information. And I think you get the point. Any information which is collected in a test planning and preparation process might be transferred into the test data management module. So, how is this data taken over into test data management? First of all, we have to decide which metadata is relevant for being transferred into the test data management. From all the collected information when planning and preparing a test, sometimes only parts of all those informations I want to have in my test data management. Another decision is to be made when setting up the transfer is when do I want to synchronize? Do I want to transfer it already at the beginning in the stage of the test request or only after execution? When I have test data. Second, the TMS application can generate an overall ODS model based on your relevance criteria. Alternatively, also a mapping against an existing ODS model is possible for those who are really familiar with ODS. Once we have set up what we want to transfer and how, transfer takes place automatically in the background on server side. So what are the advantages of this approach we just described? First of all, you can just use amazing tools which provide you the best functionality both for test management and standardized test data management. You make sure that for all test data you have collected, metadata which benefits you when searching, comparing, interpreting or analyzing data, the test data is available. Third, you avoid mistakes and lots of tedious work if everything already maintained in TMS will automatically be part of your test data management. And number 4, once the rules are set and the mechanism is set up, everything runs automatically in the background. No user interaction is needed. Now we're at the end of this little presentation. Let's sum up the lessons we have learned here. First, test data is useless without metadata, because without metadata you cannot find your test data. Neither can you draw any useful conclusion when interpreting or comparing tests. Second, we learned that our metadata is created everywhere in different stages of our testing process and can be collected there. Therefore, we come to the conclusion that we need to integrate test management and test data management to make sure we take advantage of the metadata collected in the testing process. Finally, I hope we have shown you that the usage of Peak Test Management Suite and Peak Test Data Manager, including synchronization, should be therefore your choice for an integrated test and test data management. We have more videos and written information to various topics of test management and test data management on our homepage for you at www.peak-solution.com. For now, we thank you very much for your attention you gave us in this video and say goodbye till soon.